Welcome to the Red Light Therapy Podcast, brought to you by Platinum LED Therapy Lights, the pioneers who spent 15 years building the world's most powerful red light technology. In each episode, we show you how to use that power to heal your body, save time with shorter sessions, and get the professional-grade results you deserve. This is the science of the light, simplified for you. And now, your host, Mike Volkin.
All right, welcome everybody to the Red Light Therapy Podcast, episode 11. Our co-host today is longevity and sports performance specialist from West Texas, Dr. Alan Inman. Welcome to the show, Dr. Alan.
Shout out to everyone. Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Great to have you back. Dr. Alan has two clinics in Costa Rica. He's a medical director of a stem cell clinic. And as a red light therapy expert, today he's going to be sharing his wisdom so you can make the most of your red light therapy devices. And just as a reminder, each episode designed to be no more than 15 minutes, so you can listen during one of your red light therapy sessions if you already have your panels. Today we're discussing mood boosting and how to fight the winter blues naturally. So, are you ready to get going, Dr. Inman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, by the way, for all you listeners out there, if you have a question you want to ask us, just go to redlighttherapypodcast.com, submit your question, and it will be answered in future episodes. So let's go ahead and get to the first question for fighting those winter blues naturally. How does the mood or wellness setting change on, for example, Platinum Therapy Lights, which is our main sponsor? They have a mood and wellness setting. How does that change how I feel?
So red light and infrared light therapy has been studied in the fact that we know that it's going to help with mitochondrial function, and therefore it's going to help with energy because it's the powerhouse of the cell. Well, what we know is that clinical studies have shown that when we talk about mood, there have been improvements between 20 to 50% or more when used with proper protocol, like the ones that we're talking about. So many people have felt more energized, mentally clear. They end up having more emotional balance and better equipped to handle daily stress. So it's really important that if we're doing red light therapy, it's all about consistency, because in no way are we going to be able to get all of these great and wonderful results with just one use.
Incredible amount, 20 to 50%. Wow. Are you familiar with those SAD boxes or SAD boxes?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
I guess my question is, can red light therapy replace those bright white SAD boxes? And for those of you who don't know, a SAD is a specialized lighting device designed to artificially mimic the brightness of outdoor sunlight. So they're pretty much the gold standard for seasonal affective disorder, which is called SAD or SAD. It's a type of depression triggered by the shorter, darker days of autumns and winters. So can a red light therapy device replace that?
Not completely, because, bright light therapy remains the most studied treatment for seasonal affective disorder, which is SAD, which what you were talking about, because it influences what is the circadian rhythm through the eyes. And so red light therapy works through a different way, because we know that it's going to increase energy and going to be able to have the mechanism of better brain health. But what we're going to find is that it can be very meaningful for mood benefits. And I can tell you that red light therapy is an excellent complement to the traditional SAD therapy rather than a full replacement.
Well, that's great. One of the benefits that I find, let's just, of red light therapy, and let's just take this as an example. All the rage right now is peptides, right? Everybody wants to inject peptides. And, although they have their own features and benefits, it's an injection. You're injecting a needle into your body. But the great thing about red light therapy is it feels like a warm hug. So why does red light therapy feel like a warm hug for your mood?
Because people often start describing this as feeling calmer and lighter and more relaxed after a session. And so that's because red light therapy supports, the energy function and improves circulation. And it may help overall with reductions of inflammation, which we've seen with the medical studies. And overall, that will help with the great feeling emotionally. And so when the body is under a lot of physiological stress, which a lot of us are, the nervous system often becomes more balanced when we start using red light therapy. And so, like I had spoken before, it tends to show that through medical studies that it puts us more in a parasympathetic mode instead of the sympathetic, which is your fight or flight. So it's pulling you away that fight or flight mode. And so that is the reason that it feels, like a hug.
That's that's great. Does it impact feel-good chemicals like serotonin?
Well, so research suggests that, the photobiomodulation, when you use it over time, it's going to improve brain function. And it may directly influence neurotransmitters that affect mood regulation, including serotonin, like we've spoken of. However, the benefits come from multiple mechanisms, which, they're working together and including, what is mitochondrial function, circulation, like I was telling you, reduce inflammation. And that's why people report improvements in mood, motivation, and overall emotional resilience.
That's incredible. So how long of a session is it needed to lift low mood, if you will?
So when we look at sessions, the idea is that you're getting at least 10 to 20 minutes per session, and that people will feel a shift that's positive uh, with these treatments, not over one session, but it's all about consistency, like I said before. So it'll take about, several weeks, you know, at least 5 weeks before you start going, oh, wow, now I'm starting to see this effect. I've been using it 5 times a week. And just like exercise, this is a cumulative effect. You're not going to see a change. You're not going to be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger because you did, one day at gym. And the same goes with this is you need to be able to make sure you're doing plenty of sessions so that you can get these effects.
I think a lot of people are looking for that Arnold Schwarzenegger look after one day in the gym, the magic pill. That's not going to happen. I'm sure I'm not alone on this, but in the morning, I don't want to say it's like a lot of anxiety, but I get anxiety, thinking about like all the stuff that has to get done in the day, and especially Americans, right? So they're like so busy all the time. Can I use red light therapy for morning anxiety or even like evening stress?
Absolutely. So morning sessions are going to help with energy, focus, mental clarity, and making this a great start to your day. Way better than choosing coffee. I can tell you that much, even though many will argue against that. Evening sessions may help, the body transition into a more relaxed state since, during the day we're all stressed. And some studies have reported that anxiety related symptoms can be reduced between 30 and 50%, suggesting that photobiomodulation may help support a healthier stress response and a more balanced nervous system, as we were talking about, getting you more into that parasympathetic and out of that sympathetic, which is your fight or flight.
Wow, that's incredible. And seeing that the title of this episode is Fighting the Winter Blues Naturally, does light therapy work better for moods when it's cold outside as opposed to warm or hot?
Well, let's look at this. For many people, yes. During the winter months, we know that people receive less natural sunlight, which can, affect mood strongly, energy levels, and even sleep call. Because we know that, and it's going to affect that circadian rhythm. You're not getting that sunlight. That's one of the reasons that there are moments where people have seasonal depression, and it's usually more common when the days are shorter. While red light therapy can provide these benefits throughout the year, it is important to know that it is a greater impact during colder months because it helps with the cellular function support and overall wellness during a time when, you find out that natural sunlight exposure is reduced.
It makes sense. I'm surprised you knew. I mean, you know the answer to every question, but that was kind of a curveball question. So good job with that. That's all the questions I have for you. I hope you listeners learned about mood boosting and how it affects, or how red light therapy can affect it. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode, Dr. Allen. Of course, we're going to have you on for a future episode. Thank you so much.
See you soon.
Thank you for joining us on the Red Light Therapy Podcast. While others imitate, Platinum innovates. For over 15 years, Platinum Therapy Lights remains the pioneers and global leader in the red light therapy industry. Access the same technology trusted by medical professionals, researchers, and peak performers worldwide. Now, it is your turn to experience the Platinum LED difference. Visit PlatinumTherapyLights.com to secure your professional-grade results today.